Rajesh sir has to unmute.
Good morning, everybody. Myself is Mandar Jaki, Assistant Professor in Economics, Atle Separate Maharaja Devruk. On behalf of college and Devruk Shikshan Prasarak Mandal, I welcome all of you in the live webinar on banking, finance and insurance, opportunities in banking, finance and insurance. We all know that the context of banking and insurance sector is changing since 1991, and every day, due to the technology and legal aspects, the whole scenario is changing. Due to this, the opportunities in the banking and insurance sector as well as finance sector, the opportunities are also changing. The nature of opportunities are also changing. So the students or the people who want to prepare for the grabbing these opportunities must know this changing scenario, as well as they must know what type of preparation they have to do for going this type of jobs. Keeping all these things in view, we are organizing this webinar to give the knowledge to all the students. This webinar will be addressed by Mr. Shekhar Raje sir, as well as Mr. Krishnan Santhanam sir. Mr. Shekhar Raje sir had more than 30 years experience, mostly managerial level experience in banking sector. He was the general manager in Asia's largest cooperative bank, Saraswat Cooperative Bank. Similarly, Krishnan Santhanam sir has also the similar kind of experience, more than 30 years of experience in commercial banking sector. So both of the resource persons are having full or enough background to address today's seminar. On behalf of the college and I am welcoming Shekhar Raje sir and Santhanam sir. I request Rajesh sir to start with his address.
Hello.
Sir.
Hello. Yeah. Am I audible, Mandar?
Yes, sir. Very good.
Yeah. Good morning, my friends. First of all, I am very much thankful to Dr. Narendra Tendulkar, principal of the college, and his team for inviting me to this webinar and share my opinion about what are the prospects in banking, finance and insurance career today. My association with this college is for a very long time, and it is my privilege that I am associated in various capacities with this bank. Now, well friends, coming to this topic, career prospects in banking, finance and insurance sector. At the outset, I would say the prospects are excellent. Now let me tell you why. The prospects are vast and varied opportunities available in this sector. Now why vast and varied? Because as far as banking and insurance is concerned, the need for banking and need for insurance was there in the past. It is today also, and it is going to remain tomorrow, and for that matter, forever, as long as we human are there on the earth. So the prospects are vast, varied. The jobs in the banking and insurance sector are stable, because the sector itself is a stable, sector itself is growing. So the prospects are very large, the jobs are stable, jobs are safe also, and there is an excellent reward system in this job. In many banks or non-banking financial institutions, the rewards are in form of incentives as well. So considering all these things, I would say the prospects are excellent. Now, how to prepare for this is the issue which I am going to address in this today's webinar. Now, consider the banking industry today. There are around 12 public sector banks, 22 private sector banks, there are foreign banks, there are small finance banks, and if you consider a cooperative banking sector, more than 1,900 cooperative banks are there. And all these banks, in addition to other banks also, rural banks, agriculture banks, see the vastness of the banking industry, and all these banks, they have got their branch network. Then, in addition to that, if you consider NBFCs, non-banking financial institutions, then as on today, there are around 10,000 NBFCs which are registered in our country. Now, even they have their branch offices. So far as insurance sector is concerned, as on date in India, there are total 57 insurance companies which are operating, of which 24 are dealing with life insurance and 33 are dealing with non-life insurance. Now see, as a human being, the finance is an integral part of our life because it is considered as, banking is considered, finance is considered as backbone of the economy. So even if you are not pursuing your career in banking, the knowledge of finance, banking will not go waste. Even if you are self-employed, managing your own business or managing somebody's business on his behalf or her behalf, even then the knowledge for banking and insurance and finance will come handy for tackling various types of problems. So this is the importance of banking, finance and insurance sector, which is an ever-growing sector. The jobs opportunities. Now you can join these organizations at a junior level, or if you have higher qualification like CAs, MBAs, company secretaries, cost accountant, then the same companies will hire you at a higher cadre, and accordingly the pay package, the incentives will also match. Obviously, with all these things, your responsibilities also will grow, but higher the responsibilities, higher are the rewards. So I don't have to tell you all these things. You are college going students, so you know all these things very well. Now this sector is dynamic. Now when I say it is a dynamic sector, what I exactly mean is, banking is there, banking was there and banking will be there. But what was there yesterday is not today, and what is there today may not be tomorrow. Dynamic means it is a ever growing, ever changing and bringing different challenges to the people working in this industry. When I joined the bank in 1974, you were not even born at that time. Maybe some of your parents were also not born at that time. That time the banking was different. When I left the bank 5 years ago, the banking had changed, and in last 5 years I have seen the banking is further changed. The technology has played a very vital role in this changing scenario. Then the customer needs, they are ever growing needs, and according to that their demands are changing, and to meet their demands the banking's sector have to change their strategies, they have to develop different products. So in a way, it is a very dynamic. And when it is a dynamic, there are two important things. One is you have to be always alert and you have to always sensitive to what is happening in the outside world. You have to be alert for the changes, the customer demands, the changes in economy, the legal framework, which is changing from time to time. You have to be very sensitive to this. At the same time, it's a very challenging and it's very enjoyable. ज्याला आपण मराठीमध्ये तोचपणा म्हणतो ना, it is not there because it is continuously changing and it is keeping you on your toes to acquire new skills, to acquire new knowledge. So the dynamic system has advantages as well as some responsibilities. Now, as far as career is concerned, in whatever position you join the bank, you can thereafter also make your career. Supposing tomorrow you join at a very junior level, that is clerk, or sometimes it is in some banks said it is assistant level. Then you have further scope for promotions. Now for that, banks have their internal promotional exams or interviews or whatever the system they have devised for promoting their staff member. You can also acquire some certification which are available from reputed institutions like IIBF, that is Indian Institute of Finance, Banking and Finance. Now they offer certification, specialized certification program in trade banking or retail banking, whatever. So that career also can be made. Even they have got some certification programs like foreign exchange, treasury, and the diploma programs like JIB, CIB, for which you have to be employee of a bank. Now, when we talk about NBFCs, they are slightly different from banks. Now, let me not bother you about the details about the difference, but basically NBFCs, non-banking financial companies, they also do the two major parts, that is mobilizing deposits from customers and meeting their financial needs. So more or less it is also like a bank. So all these things you will understand the spectrum of the variations that you can have in your careers. For that, now what is required? Now take any job, whether it is banking or manufacturing, integrity and honesty is must. Now you cannot compromise with integrity and honesty, whether it is the service industry or whether it is a manufacturing industry. But when we are talking about banking, finance and insurance, which is basically a service industry, the major important things apart from your integrity and honesty will be the communication skills, your patience, the trust that you develop in your customer. Because when you are dealing with somebody else's money as a banker, what you do? People keep deposit with them, and with that deposit you lend money. In financial institutions, what do you do? You mobilize people of the deposits, and the mobilized deposits are then lent to other needy people. Now here the starting point is deposit. People will keep money with you as a bank or as a financial institution, provided they trust you. So the trust is very important. Communication skill, yes, when the banks are offering various products. Now you take example in today's banking, banks, they are giving number of deposit products, cumulative deposit, interest which is paid monthly, saving deposit, current accounts. Now all these products which you have to sell to the customers, you will have to have excellent communication skill. Now nowhere I am here underestimating the knowledge part. Now communication is important, but if you do not have knowledge about the product, what will you communicate? So communication is important. At the same time, knowledge is the key in any business, any profession. Knowledge. If you have knowledge, then you can develop further skills. So when you talk about banking, finance, insurance, the knowledge, along with that trust is very important. Then patience. See, different types of customers you will have to deal in banking and finance and insurance. They are from different age group. They are from different localities. Some are from rural areas, some are from urban areas. They are of different qualifications. Some are illiterate, some are literate, some are highly literate. So all these people, they will have different kinds of questions when you are going to sell them your products. Now for that, in addition to your communication skills, you also need to have patience. If a customer doesn't understand what you are saying, you will have to explain that thing 10 times to him. For that, it requires a lot of patience. So, well, my friends, when you want to be a professional and a successful professional, these are the things which are required. Now, three basic things which I have talked about you, I can summarize in 3 words. One is knowledge, the other is skills, and the last and the important is attitude. Now, when it comes to knowledge, knowledge can be acquired through your sensory organs. You see people working and you acquire knowledge. You read what is written by bankers and you acquire knowledge. So, knowledge can be acquired through all your senses. If you keep your eyes and ears open, you make use of your eyes, ears, you can acquire knowledge. Skills can be developed. By doing a thing again and again, you can develop proficiency in your skills. Initially, you may not be a good seller. You are learning. But again and again, when you sell your products, you will definitely develop skills because you will be meeting different types of people. Their needs will be addressed by you and you will know how different type of people will have to be tackled. So it is a challenging, it's a very interesting thing. And attitude. Attitude, as I said, is the most important thing because, yes, knowledge you can acquire, skills also you can develop, but if you do not have the attitude, that is, willingness to do your job, nothing will work. So attitude is equally important, or I would rather say it is more important compared to knowledge and skill. Now, well, friends, now this is what is requirement and this is what is about the scope for banking, insurance and non-banking financial institutions industry. Now, entry level. Now, when you have to make entry in the bank, every bank has got their own way of recruitment. Many banks will have their own written test to start with. Some banks, they design their own written test. Some banks, they hire services of institutions like IBPS, where the entry level written tests are conducted. Most of the times, these entry level written tests, they consist of what is called as TORA, TOCA, TONA, TOEL, that is test of reasoning aptitude, whether you have an aptitude for reasoning, logical way of thinking. Then aptitude for numerical ability, because you are dealing with numbers, figures. So numerical aptitude is tested in this kind of written test. Your test of reasoning, I said, numerical ability, your English language to some extent it is tested, your general knowledge, because it's a service industry, you are dealing with different type of customer. You should be generally aware of what is happening in the outside world. So that kind of tests are done in many banks. You can get these, banking personnel selection books for practice in the market. After that, many banks, they have what is called as a group discussion. Now this is a elimination process. Now once people are through with the written test, then they are called for group discussion where your communication skills are tested. How you work in a team, because ultimately banking, financial institution or businesses, they are a community activity. Communication is important and working with people, teamwork is also very important. So how you work along with your team, that kind of testing is done in the your second level test, that is group discussion. Then again, the third mini bags they do is what? Interviews. There you are personally called for interview, and individually they are asking you some question to know your likes, dislikes, your mannerism, your communication skill. So normally these are the things. Now I want to tell you one more important thing here. When I joined the bank, as I told you, it was some 45, 50 years ago. The situation was different. Most of the banks, their minimum requirement was graduation. That graduated person could be from any stream, science, commerce, or arts. These were the only three streams available in those days. I myself am coming from a science background. But let me tell you, I did not face any problem in rising from my clerical cadre to general manager because my background was not commerce. Once you accept the job, how to excel in the job is up to you. You can acquire knowledge, as I told you. Now, if you have patience, you can develop skills also. Maybe some things were not known to me initially. What is debit, what is credit, what is balance sheet? I was not taught that because I was coming from a science stream. But when something is happening in my nearby environment, people around me, they are doing with all these things, can I not learn something from them? So I never faced a problem. Maybe I had to give some more time because my background was not commerce. A commerce person will understand something in, say, half an hour. I will have to spend maybe 1.5 hours for understanding that. But nevertheless, if I am ready to spend 1 hour for understanding such things, there is no reason why I should not understand. The skills can be developed. If one person can learn something, there is no reason why other person cannot learn these things. And attitude, yes, I wanted to be a general manager. I wanted to have promotions from time to time, and accordingly I developed my skills. I acquired more and more knowledge. So let me tell you, nothing is impossible in this world. And today's scenario, let me tell you, now today you people are lucky because there are a lot many other streams are available today. For example, today there is a banking with, BCom student can have BCom with banking. In addition to that, now university, UGC has started what is called as a BVOC programs, Bachelors of Vocational Studies in banking, finance and insurance. Now try to understand the importance of such kind of programs. Now here, when you are talking about BVOC, banking, insurance and financial studies, there the syllabus is designed in such a manner that almost 70% of knowledge is in form of practicals. So when you are during the study are aware of how the things are doing, what we call as a hands-on experience, now you are going to be a better choice for bankers at the time of selection. This is what is my opinion. Because I am in a selection process. If I have got two candidates, one is with science background, I don't underestimate his capacity to learn. But if I have got a student who is candidate, who is well versed with banking already, as a banker, maybe I will have to invest less in developing that person to become a full-fledged employee in my organization. So these candidates will definitely have an edge over others. This is what is my opinion. My other colleague is also going to share his opinion about this career in banking sector and other financial sector today. Let us see his opinion also. And you are also a grown-up people. You can independently form your own opinion. But this is what is my opinion I am sharing with you. Now, when this is available in today's world. I am very happy that Devruk College has already started this program, BVOC. Now I am very happy to know that the principal of college, who is a very known personality to me, I have worked with him, and not only with him, with the entire team of the college I am associated, and I know how they are committed, how they have put in a lot of efforts and achieved what they have achieved today, right from autonomy to all these BVOC licenses and all these things. And they have taken a keen interest and a lot of patience, a lot of trouble in developing in this BVOC programs. Now this beauty of this BVOC program is one more additional point I can tell you here is that there is a multiple exit possible in this program. For example, if you start the program and if you leave after 1 year, you will get the diploma. Now the course is designed in such a manner that if you are a diploma holder, your knowledge about the banking, financial sector and insurance is as good as a junior person working in the bank, that is, we can say, for example, a clerical person. So you have a choice to exit at that level. If you complete that BVOC program for 2 years, then you get higher diploma. Now this higher diploma means what? You are just above the clerk. You know your work also, you know some other people's work also. So your knowledge level, your skill level is at a higher level. And if you complete the entire program, that is a degree, BVOC degree, after 3 years, you are full-fledged clerk level person who is working in the bank, and maybe further opportunities for making career will be much more easier to you, because by that time, completing 3 years, you will have hands-on experience for 3 years. You will have theory which will be clarifying your all fundamental things about banking for 3 years, and your knowledge level will be in-depth knowledge level you will have. So multiple exit is also possible here. After 1 year, diploma. After 2 year, higher diploma. After 3 year, you get a degree. And well, friends, let me tell you that BVOC is no less than BSc, BCom or BA. They are at par. It is science graduate, it is commerce graduate, it is arts graduate, or it is vocational study graduation. They all bachelor degrees are at par. Now even post graduation is also available. So when we are talking about various careers which are available, prospects which are available in banking and finance and insurance sector, I will like you to understand these things. What is the requirement? What is the scope? Then what kind of knowledge from where you will get? What kind of skills from where you will get those skills? And what kind of attitudes are required, because they are the industry specific. It's a service industry. Service industry is different from manufacturing. In manufacturing, you are not directly coming into contact with your clients. In service industry, you are not selling a tangible product. See, tangible products means what? A furniture seller sells a furniture. Furniture can be touched, furniture can be seen. But here you are selling a deposit account, an insurance policy. Policy cannot be seen. Deposit account cannot be seen. But the benefits of this deposit account, benefits of these policies can be felt. So it is a feeling related product that we are dealing to. They are intangible. And that is why it is very challenging. And if you ask me, I thoroughly enjoyed my association with the bank. Each and every day I enjoyed my work because it was challenging. It was always dealing with people, lots of people, they come in your life, they teach you, you learn from them, you make differences in their life. So the prospects are not only bright, the prospects are such that you will enjoy developing your personality if you choose banking, finance and insurance as a career. Well, friends, now I request my colleague, Mr. Santhanam Krishnan, to share his opinion about this topic. Later on, if you have any questions, you can put your questions in chat box, or maybe Mandar sir will tell me what is to be done.
Thank you, Rajesh sir, for leaving me at the task of further explaining. And first of all, let me thank Principal Dr. Tendulkar sir and his team members who have tirelessly worked to see that this webinar is held properly, and they have done all sorts of background work, and I congratulate them and also congratulate them for having launched the BWork program. And well, my friends, let me wish you a very warm good morning. And also, as the festival spirit hangs on, let me also wish you a very safe Diwali and New Year for Vikar Samvat year. And let me again take on the topic what Rajesh sir has been dealing with, the career prospects in the Indian banking industry. Not only that banking industry we are going to talk about, we are going to also talk to you regarding insurance and finance. Am I audible to you all? Are you able to listen? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So let me start with a small example. When I went to Devruk some years back, while entering Devruk town, I saw one board called Industrial Training Institute. And many of you may know about this Industrial Training Institute. And they train qualified people who are educated at the basic level to perform various tasks such as electrician, welder, fitter, mechanics, and so on. And most of the people who have gone through this ITI training, though they may not be very highly educated, but they become very skilled technicians. The moment somebody comes out of ITI, they have one distinct quality, that is they are employable. For example, if a welder qualifies from ITI, he can join an industry readily as a welder. And there are many such industries which employ welders, for various other works. So in short, this person who has qualified and who got the qualification from ITI as a welder has got a quality of readily employable by the industry. Now, can we say the same thing about our academic courses like BA, BSc, BCom? Obviously, it is not. Anybody who has got even MCom, MScs, MTech, and such academic courses are not readily employed. No, to make a distinction in this regard so that the industry is also benefited as well as the students who are studying or pursuing their studies also benefited, the UGC had introduced employment-oriented courses like BWork. Okay, now let me come back to this topic a little later, but let me go into the topic of prospects in the banking industry, about which Rajesh sir has already told you many things. In fact, most of them are irrefutable facts. So, what is the Indian banking industry? What is the situation? What is the environment like happening? Now, first of all, the banking industry and the finance industry, both are the backbone of the Indian economy. For that matter, in any country, the financial system, including the banking, forms the backbone of that country. And let us look at the Indian banking industry. No, because today's scenario is somewhat confusing to many of you youngsters, because some of you youngsters have already asked me many times in the past, sir, is it safe? Is there any prospects? No, international experts today say that Indian banking industry is one of the most stable industry in the world. I think you will be surprised to hear this. In spite of several things happening in the banking industry, this industry is going to be very stable. So there need not be any fear or any doubt about that in your minds. Now, why do I say this? Personally, as a banking industry person, I have seen many crises taking place across the world. For example, in 1997, there was a Southeast Asian crisis related to banking. In 2008, there was the biggest global financial crisis. And none of that sort of things have happened in India in spite of this NPA problem. Okay, all the biggest financial crises which I have named have originated abroad, who are supposed to be far more advanced than India in banking industry and technology. In spite of the handicaps that India has, we have proved that we are not of that kind. Our Indian banking industry had withstood all shocks. Even the 1991 crisis which we had, when India had just 15 days of foreign exchange reserves to pay for imports, we could withstand that shocks because of our inherent strength. So therefore, Indian banking industry is very sound, very stable, and you need not have any apprehension, any fear or any doubt about that. Now, let me come back to you a little bit of statistics about our Indian industry, in banking industry, sorry. Now, Indian banking assets internationally, this is an international level opinion which I am giving you. We are estimated to have $2.33 trillion US dollars, which means it's more than 90 lakh crores of business. Okay, and this is growing at an average rate of about 6.6 to 7%, which is very commendable. And let me come back to the Indian scenario. In the banking industry today, for every minute there are 179 new accounts are opened. 179 or 180 new accounts are opened every minute in India. If the banking industry is not stable or if there are no prospects in the banking industry, this would not happen. Even this kind of a record of opening accounts or expanding business doesn't happen abroad. Okay. And India has one of the largest microfinance markets in the world. You know, microfinance is also another financial activity which many companies are indulging in, including some of the banks are also into it. You might know that there is a bank called Bandhan Bank, which was started recently. Bandhan Bank, before it became a commercial bank, they were a microfinance agency. So, and India's banks have got capital adequacy much higher than what is globally to be done. And in the Indian banking industry, as of today, according to the latest statistics, there are 14 lakh bank employees are there. 14 lakh bank employees. This is excluding cooperative sector. Okay. And it is growing. You know, Rajesh sir has already told you about the different kinds of banks in India. Apart from that, we already have PSU banks, we have got foreign banks, we have got cooperative banks, we have small finance banks, we have got payment banks, and we have got all India financial institutions which are also banks. And we have developmental banks, and we have NBFCs, that is non-banking financial companies, we have micro-financial institutions, and we have state financial corporations, and so on. We have got large number of and varieties of banks or financial institutions across India. Okay. And Indian banking system is one of the largest in India. In fact, the largest if you consider network wise. So that means what? Sir, why are you telling all these statistics? It's rather boring. It is not boring. If there is a large network, people are needed. In spite of computerization, in spite of technology advancements, banking industry is one such where people are needed. 5 to 10 years down the line, you will see robots are introduced in banking. But robots cannot do or deliver banking as a human being does. And let us look at the Indian market. What is the penetration level? How far banking has expanded and caters to the needs of people? The Indian banking industry is said to have penetrated about 60 to 70% of the market. which means there is a gap of 20 to 30%. What about the insurance side? Long back it was only 6%, that is 6% of the population used to be covered by insurance. After liberalization and allowing of many private sector players, the market as penetration level has reached around 20 to 25%, which means there is a huge scope of 75%. And of course, there is no end to the financial needs of growing public. Okay, so therefore there is a huge market which is waiting to be tapped, which is waiting to absorb the finance that you can provide as a banker or as an NBFC. So therefore there is a huge market available in the country, so which means there is employment prospects. Okay. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? When there is an opportunity available, there will be scope for you to find employer. In fact, in our times, when I'm talking about the 70s, early 70s, banking and insurance used to be the most attractive the employment destinations for average graduates who come from the middle class families. I am also from a middle class family, so we also entered the banking system. So today, the situation is also more or less the same, because banking will never cease to exist. So long as the human beings are there, there is a need for finance. There is a need for financial services. So therefore, there will be a perpetual scope for employment in this sector. Now, globally, the experts are estimating that India will be the third largest in terms of BFSI segment. That is, globally, we will be number third position in this industrial scenario. That is, we will have the third largest BFSI institutions or BFSI portfolio among the countries. And they estimate our size of the BFSI sector will be anywhere between 100 lakh crores to about 120 lakh crores, which means there will be a huge opportunity to all of you. Now, till recently, now let me come back to the how to get in. Now, till recently, we have academic graduates or sometimes specialists entering the banking scenario like CAs, ICWAs, or even company secretaries at the basic level. And what is one big difference that it is going to make, the BWOC course is going to make, is this: that till recently, people who are entering the banking system have no practical exposure to banking. And once the BWOC course, which is being started at Devru, once such sort of courses completed, or once you complete such sort of courses, you can enter the banking system directly. Now, today, what is the biggest concern for a graduate who graduates out of a university or a college? The first concern is, will I have employment prospects? The second question is, will I get a job? Okay. And most of us, we think that we need to get a job immediately. Okay. So therefore, again, let us look at the other side of the picture. When you talk about employment, there are employers or people who give you employment. Now, what is their concern? What is their worry? The person who comes to me should be able to do the job in a very shortest possible time, because there is a cost involved. As already Rajesh sir has told you, there is certain time is required for a newly entering person to get familiar with all the systems and procedures and so on. So here comes the BWOC, which is much better than the normal academic courses. Here the person who joins the BWOC courses get exposed to the knowledge, the skills which are related to the banking industry. Okay. Compared to any other person who enters the banking industry, a BWOC person who would be able to adjust to the situation of banking or the surroundings of an NBFC or an insurance company very quickly compared to anybody else. Rajesh sir has already told you regarding how to enter. The preparation to enter the system he has already outlined, so I will not go into that. But what is the advantage? Let me also once again emphasize what is the advantage of doing BWOC course. You are industry ready, and BWOC course, another unique feature is it gives you multiple entry and multiple exits. At the end of first year, if you are not in a position to pursue higher education or higher next 2 years, you can quit and join a financial institution at a lower level perhaps. And maybe at the end of second year, if you don't have financial means to continue, you can quit or you can opt out and join the industry. After saving or getting some more resources are made available for you, you can come back and complete the third year. So anytime you can exit, anytime you can enter. And anytime you exit and anytime you enter, still there is the scope for you to complete or to get a job at any of the financial institutions. Now, apart from employment opportunities, some of you have always want to do something for you or something on your own, which is basically called a self-employment, or it's called an entrepreneurship mode. Even this course, BWAC course, helps you to do that. You can be an independent professional, finance professional, or you can be an independently become a bank mitra, or what is known as a business correspondent or a business facilitator, which are being used by the banks to further their business. In other language, if I tell you a very familiar term, insurance companies have got agents who are independently doing the insurance work, and they earn very handsome commission. And the marketing opportunities are vast in India because the number of people to be covered under insurance are still, there is a huge gap from who are covered and who are not covered. So therefore, there is a huge opportunity also for you for self-employment. And what is the advantage of again BWAC? Let me summarize once again. It provides knowledge inputs in banking industry, because it is based completely on legal framework of our country. So first of all, to enter banking industry or to work in the banking industry, you need knowledge. Computers are not knowledge providing, gadgets. They help you to do the routine jobs. Okay, so not only you will have to have knowledge, but you will also be trained in the actual software that is being used by banks through practical trainings. Also, you will be trained at the end of every semester or at the end of the semesters as they plan. You will be placed in a banking branch, and you will also get to know practically how things are happening. That sort of facilities are also available in the BWAC. And in addition to this, the communication skills, including practical experience of talking to people, making them understand, selling the products. This kind of experience also will be, you will be undergoing while you are doing the BWAC course. And as I said, this at the end of every year, if you are not in a position to continue, you can opt out and you can come back and complete the course, which is going to provide a lot of help to you, because at any say at the end of first year or second year or third year, you are sure to get an employer. So there is a sort of a sense of, you yourself feel there's a sense of safety you will have. Okay, it's not that you will remain unemployed for a long time. It cannot be, because there are huge developments are taking place in the banking and financial services industry. In fact, you will find opportunity not only in banks, in NBFCs, in cooperative credit societies, cooperative banks, private sector banks, and microfinance institutions, and so on. So you have multiple choices to choose from, and therefore this will provide you good scope for employment. And as the time passes, you yourself will know that there will be a distinct preference for BWAC courses, because they are employment-oriented courses compared to the academic courses. And also, but not last but the least, let me tell you this, that this course has been specially designed by the University Grants Commission, keeping in mind the needs of the industry. And in developing this course or in introducing this course, the industry experts will also be associated with the course. Every time we meet for doing certain changes in the course or any consultation, anything to be changed or anything to be introduced, the industry people are directly, they will be involved in the course design and also in planning this. This does not happen in the case of BCom, BA, BSc. Industry is not associated with the academic courses. Here the industry people are associated. we are associated to our, we had our own banking experience, so we are coming inside to help you in this. Similarly, there are many other professionals who will also be associated with the program to help you or with the courses, to help with the courses, which in turn will help you to get a qualification, which will find a ready employability. So I think with these few words, let me conclude my speech, and we will take a few questions, subject of course the Dr. Tendulkar and his associates convenience. Okay. So thank you very much, and before I end, let me wish you a very, very happy learning time and ahead of when you join this course. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Krishnan, sir. I think before we take up some questions, meanwhile, Mandar Zaki sir, he will, select those questions. I think I would like to say something. Will it be all right, Mandar Zaki sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Rajesh sir, Krishnan sir, am I audible to all?
Yes, yes, sir.
Rajesh sir, Krishnan sir,
Yeah, you are audible.
I express my sincere gratitude towards you too. On my personal behalf, on behalf of Devruk Shikshan Prasarak Mandal as well. Before I say something, I would appeal to all the participants for this webinar. I am sure you must be having some notebook and pen. Please write 2 words. One is NSDC, National Skill Development Corporation. The first one is NSDC, National Skill Development Corporation. Just you write, then later on I will tell you why I have said this. And the second word you write NSQF, National Skills Qualification Framework. National Skills Qualifications Framework. Okay, and later on you can do the surfing from the website. So exactly you will understand what for we are organizing these kind of workshops. Today the Rajesh sir, Krishnan sir, in fact we got a very eminent personality to address just one skill sector, that is banking and finance. If you go to website, there are 34 skill sectors. And under each skill sector, you will find n number of sub-points. Normally, we call like National Occupation Standards, NOS, National Occupation Standards. And QP stands for Quality Pack. Even these 2 words also, you please make a note of it. Why I am asking, by the moment this session gets over, actual your survey starts. You need to understand what is this all about and from where this idea has conceived. I am sure you must have heard National Education Policy. By now you should be fully aware with the content of that National Education Policy. If not, at least write one more National Education Policy. The kind of education in the near future our government is expecting, what way we need to design and develop our curriculum, the basis have been clearly defined in this National Education Policy. Dear friends, in this just one sector like banking and finance and insurance, both our experts, resource person Rajesh sir and Krishnan sir, they have given a lot of statistics with regard to what is the potential for employability and entrepreneurship as well. Sir, it's spoken in terms of several lakhs, crores and anything. I am not going to touch, even I am not an authority to touch on this topic. But the fact is, if you refer that National Education Policy, the reality as of now, that in India, the kind of education, rather I am not criticizing the system of education as such, because we will have to deal with the mass scale, we are dealing with several crores of students. The fact is only 5% student of ours, they have some sort of skill. If you compare this with the other countries like US or Brazil almost 96% of students, they have a skill something or the other. If you take the example of USA, about say average 54%. So where is the fault? Like the fault, you may or you may not say, the way we have been designing our curriculum, more focus is given to the theory than skill. And even actually the UGC guidelines are also as such that the curriculum should be somewhere about 80% of theory and 20% of skill, because to give skill part, I mean to deal with the skill part, naturally there has to be some linkages between industry and academia. And it is not just possible to establish this kind of linkages. As I said, the number is so huge. To bridge this gap, what actually the industry is looking for and what we are giving in the colleges, and whether our product is accomplished to satisfy the requirements of industry. That is a very big question mark. And now slowly, the education system is coming into force. That is why the concept of autonomy has come. You see, ours is the only college in the Konkan area. This is the very first and only college autonomous. Autonomous college has got a privilege to design and develop their curriculum where little bit, even UGC is not allowing us to increase the skill component to any figure like the way we design. There are also constraints. Instead of 20%, we can raise it to 30% or maybe 40% at the most. The weightage will be given to the skill part. The beauty of this BOC program, I mean that both the sirs, they have specifically mentioned that this is exactly reverse of our formal education. Like here, skill component is about 70% and 30% is the theory, and out of that 30%, even 10-15% goes to the theory related to the core content of the skill, and rest is like the communication skill and some other aspects that we know for to enhance our ability with regard to environment and all. So in our Atlas Pitre College, we have been designing 4 skill-based BOC program. I mean, what is those? I mean, the concept of BOC programs and how the syllabus is being trained. What are the various authorities involved in designing and developing? I mean, a lot of things have been discussed and lot of things have been told also by Rajesh sir and the Krishnan sir. We are so fortunate. This BOC program which we have designed especially for the banking and finance, that 3 years integrated course, the experts involved in designing and developing, the Rajesh sir is the one, Krishnan sir is the one senior manager from Bajaj Finserv Finance Limited. It's a finance company. He is a chartered accountant, Mr. Sathe. One experts. He had almost 2 decades of experience in the public sector banks. He had been to London. He completed his MBA. Now he is back. Now he is having his own organization in finance. I mean, those experts, they are involved in designing and developing. Now, these courses, they are approved by UGC. And once the course is approved by UGC, the integrity of the course is not questionable. The integrity of degree is also not questionable. And we will have to assure even the, what you can say, the outcome. By the time the student complete this 3 years integrated course, our product should be rehabilitated in a very good organization. Either they should be rehabilitated in the organization or they should create, rather than looking for the job, seeking for the, they should be job givers. So both the angles, entrepreneurship and employability has to be enhanced, and we need to assure that our 100% product is rehabilitated in, of course, the one who completed very successfully. Here, as I said, the skill part is 70% and 30%. So there is no rote learning like. For example, we have in formal BCom, banking and finance, banking and insurance, banking and auditing, all sort of things are there. But the more emphasis in the theory. We mug up theory, probably we may or may not understand. But by the end of our degree, if we ask what is cross check, what is bearer check, what are the KYC now, how I'm the compliance, what do you mean by saving account, then PPF account, so on and so forth, various types of account, various norms related to the each type of account, how to fix up the credentials of a person if he is running some business, particularly for the loan proposal as such. Here our learning part is entirely different. First, he has to work in the bank, whatever experience he gains on a day. Suppose he is opening, say, 5 accounts, so he will make a diary that today this 5 saving accounts have been opened, or something current account have been opened. So his diary itself is a part of education. So first you learn the things. Whatever you learn, that you will have to write in your diary, and whatever you write in your diary, that becomes a part of your theory. So it is exactly in the reverse way. Here in the theory, we understand, we learn what is, cross check, bearer check, but sometimes we don't even see check also. We don't even visit also to the bank, and we are studying theory of the bank. So this is the one sector what we have tried our level best today to address you all. Likewise, 4 sectors we have been addressing, because we are initiating 4 courses, and the beauty of these courses, not just with regard to the skill part, even the sir has said, suppose somebody is getting some job prospect after completion of 1 year, his original qualification, suppose he is BCom or BSc or whatsoever it may be, then he can add to his qualifications like BCom and diploma in BVOC, Bachelor of Vocation. If he completes 2 years of BVOC program, then he will write BCom and advanced diploma in BVOC program. And if he completes all the 3 years, then he will have a dual degree like BCom in general and BCom in vocation. You just imagine, the one who is having 2 parallel degrees, he need not have to go for master's program. Rather, we are wasting our precious years in going for once again for further couple of years in doing just a theoretical, acquiring theoretical knowledge, but having no absolutely practical touch. So, reality, I need not have to tell you, because I could see some professors are here, some principals are also here, and students, you all are witnessing this present education system. And now we will have to slowly, we will have to bring a change, and more emphasis should be given to the skill part. If you just go through this, the education policy, you will understand even the size of the university has to be reduced. And to reduce to what extent, that every affiliating university can have at the most 100 colleges there in affiliation. And particularly for autonomous college, maybe in a span of say 10 years, every autonomous college itself is a degree awarding college. And the autonomous college that itself is a degree awarding college, then naturally that college has to prove his credentials. At the same time, that college has to give something that the product is immediately they go beyond the gate. There must be some people in the society they are looking for to hire their services. So we have been trying, and we are so fortunate that eminent personalities like Rajesh sir, as I said, especially for banking, finance, these sirs, they are in association with us since last 5-6 years, because in collaboration with Bajaj Finserv Finance Limited, we have been conducting 1 course certificate program in banking, insurance, finance and communication skill. And actually this academic part of this skill-based program is taken care of by the industry people. Even for this BVOC program, 30% theory part is being taken care of by the teachers who are dealing with our regular arts, science and commerce. But actually that 70% skill component, that has to be taken care of by industry people, because our professors, they don't have exposure actually with regard to the skill. So designing and developing has to be taken care of by industry people. Not only that, even the actual teaching part also has to be taken care of by industry people. And moreover, over and above this, even the assessment part is also taken care of by National Skill Development Corporation. There is an assessment board, and on that board there are people from NSDC, National Skill Development Corporation. Some experts from the University of Mumbai, some experts from the partner industry. In fact, for all these 4 courses, we have executed MOUs with different industries. For example, for banking and finance, we have executed MOU with Abhyuday Bank, and now we are looking even for the other banks also, so that our students, they will get an opportunity to have internship, actually on-the-job training program in the nearby bank, because Abhyuday Bank, most of the branches there in Mumbai. So we are looking for even other bank also with whom we can have a tie-up. So this is just a banking and finance. The other one, as I said, applied chemistry, that BWOC program. Once again, we will have a seminar of similar kind. I mean, what are the future prospects even in that area also. We have executed MOU with UICT, University Institute of Chemical Technology. Earlier it was UDCT. And even one multinational pharmaceutical company in Mumbai. So for all the BWOC programs, that was the prerequisite. Unless we have a collaboration, unless we execute memorandum of understanding with this industry, it is not just possible to, conduct the program. And even UGC also will not allow. For a very basic reason, if we have a collaboration with the industry, then what actually industry is looking for, accordingly, these experts, they will design and develop the curriculum. So with, for 4 courses, we have executed MOUs with all, 4 industries. And one donor, he is kind enough even to support us to create infrastructure. Our President Emeritus, Mr. Bhalasaheb Joshi, with his very generous and thoughtful donation of ₹1 crore, we are establishing separate infrastructure. And the inauguration of ceremony was also, conducted in the presence of Honorable Vice Chancellor. We will send you even the clip what Honorable Vice Chancellor has said with regard to this BWOC program, because it is a normal mindset of even not only student, even their parents as well. They don't want to go for BWOC because this is something appears to be different. This Krishnan sir, even Rajesh sir also rightly pointed out. This is a normal mindset because arts, science and commerce and this BWOC appears to be something different. My dear friends, the BWOC stands for vocational, and now slowly, even in our formal education also, we need to incorporate this vocational part, and that too with a maximum percentage. As of now, it is just hardly 20 and 80% is theory. So we will make some changes in the regular curriculum as well. And here we have no option that we need to have this 80-70% skill part, and that should be taken care of by industry people only, and even your assessment as well. So whenever you learn something by participative, experiential learning or participative in nature, then naturally you need not have to mug up the thing. What you see, what you experience, that you are putting in the paper. So there is no rote learning like डेफिनेशन पाठ करायचा नाहीये, दुसऱ्या कपच्या थिअरीज पाठ करायच्या नाहीये. करंट अकाउंट म्हणजे काय, त्याच्यासाठी रिक्वायरमेंट काय, सेव्हिंग अकाउंट म्हणजे काय, त्याच्यासाठी रिक्वायरमेंट काय. प्राचार्य तेंडुलकर सर स्वतःचं अकाउंट उघडायला आले की प्राचार्य तेंडुलकर सर कॉलेजचं अकाउंट उघडायला आले की प्राचार्य तेंडुलकर सर रिटायर्ड झाले आणि व्यवसाय सुरू केला, व्यवसायाचं अकाउंट उघडायला आले की एखाद्या ट्रस्टचं अकाउंट उघडायला आले. ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी तुम्ही प्रत्यक्ष करायच्या आहेत. And we are planning even to create a virtual bank in the college. काय होतं माहितीये का, ज्या एंट्रीज आपल्याला बँकेमध्ये करायच्या असतात तोच पार्ट आपल्याला माहिती नसतो. So we are looking for whether we can have a relevant software that normally banks they are using. So in the college itself we can create a feel of bank. We call it as a virtual bank or dummy bank. हा एक तुमचा प्रॅक्टिकल अप्रोच राहील आणि असा एक कॉन्फिडन्स आपल्याला बिल्ड करायचा आहे. By the time we complete our BCom, Bachelor of Vocation, त्यावेळी बँकेत पाऊल न ठेवता मला डॉक्टरीन ऑफ इंडोर मॅनेजमेंट ज्याला म्हणतात, म्हणजे बँकेमध्ये अगदी क्लर्क किंवा कॅशियर पासून मॅनेजर पर्यंत प्रत्येकाचं ज्युरिस्डिक्शन काय असतं, प्रत्येकाचं काम काय असतं. एखादा चेक आपण जेव्हा डिपॉझिट करतो तर चेक क्लिअर होतो म्हणजे तो कुठच्या प्रोसेसमधून जातो. एखादा अकाउंट आपण ओपन करतो म्हणजे त्याची प्रोसेस काय असते. आपण फक्त जाऊन फॉर्म भरतो, पण आत फॉर्म दिल्यानंतर आत काय त्याचं प्रोसेसिंग केलं जातं हे जर मला आधी माहिती असेल तर माझा कॉन्फिडन्स बाळानो असा असेल की आय विल बी समथिंग डिफरंट फ्रॉम द लॉट. I will tell you the fact actually, as I mentioned in just 2 minutes before, that we have been conducting that banking, finance and insurance. Once we have conducted campus interview, in that interview all managers, those who are involved actually, HR managers, those who are involved in recruitment process, they said that just bring the students who have completed that CPBA file. So we would like to interact with them one to one. आम्हाला त्यांच्याशी एक सेपरेटली बोलायचंय. आणि जेव्हा आपण कॉल करतो तेव्हा बरीचशी मुलं नॉन CPBF आहे किंवा प्लेन ग्रॅज्युएटची येतात. मग त्यांच्यासाठी ग्रुप डिस्कशन केलं जातं आणि त्या ग्रुप डिस्कशन मधून जो एखाद दुसरा काही सिलेक्ट केला जातो त्यालाच फक्त फायनल इंटरव्ह्यू साठी बोलवलं जातं. सो वी वॉन्ट टू बिकम समथिंग डिफरंट फ्रॉम द लॉट सो दॅट वी नीड नॉट हॅव टू वरी अबाउट आवर फ्युचर ॲज सच. ओके. तर पुन्हा एकदा राजेश सर आणि कृष्णन सर यांचं मी मनापासून खूप खूप आभार व्यक्त करतो. आणि आता आपण जर काही मुलांना प्रश्न विचारायचे असतील, यू नीड, सरांनी इथे मेलबॉक्स मध्ये टाकलं, यू नीड नॉट हॅव टू हेजिटेट, यू आस्क क्वेश्चन्स इन एनी लँग्वेज इज नो वन. ऑफकोर्स एनी, डोंट से that somebody must have knowledge of German and Japanese, don't put, because principal he himself is not aware about. So maybe Marathi or English or Hindi, you put it in your own words. Like, we will spare some couple of minutes to answer your questions. Rajesh sir and Krishnan sir, he will answer your questions. Sir, please. Okay. One by one.
Yes. Thank you very much, sir. Rajesh sir and Krishnan sir. Rajesh sir.
Yes, Mandar.
Yes. There is a question by Mrunal. She is asking whether this COVID-19 and lockdown period is going to affect the banking sector, and how it will going to affect the job opportunities in banking sector.
Hello.
Hello, Rajesh.
Yes, Mrunal. I have your question in chat box
Yeah.
that you want to know what will be the impact of COVID.
Hello.
Hello, sir. You are not audible.
Sir, you are not audible, please.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
You are
Not audible?
It
No,
is
sir.
hampering.
ऐकायला येत नाही.
Hello.
राजेश सर ऐकायला येत नाही.
No, it's coming. पण मी अनम्यूट केलंय, मला काय झालं माहिती.
Yes,
sir,
yes,
now
go ahead,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
तू विचारलंयस कोविडचा इम्पॅक्ट काय होणार आहे. नाव लेट मी टेल यू, तू एक एक्झाम्पल दिलंयस की समजा एखाद्याचा जॉब गेला तर तो डिपॉझिट कसं येऊन भरणार, बरोबर, तर बँकेला फंड्स कुठून मिळणार. ऍब्सोल्युटली राईट. पण देन the impact of COVID is not only on banking, it is a universal impact. आता बँकेमध्ये जर पैसे ठेवायला नाहीये तर तो माणूस परचेसिंग करायला बाहेर जाणार नाहीये. सो विल इट नॉट अफेक्ट द मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्री. आता मॅन्युफॅक्चरर्सना जर पैसे मिळाले नाहीत तर इन देअर अकाउंट दे विल नॉट गेट रिफ्लेक्टेड. So ultimately, the entire economy, if it is going to affected, the banking financial sector obviously is going to get affected. But then it is a temporary phase. Are people not working on this? न आपल्याकडेच बघ ना, आपण लॉकडाऊन केल्यानंतर आता हळूहळू फेजेस मध्ये लॉकडाऊन विड्रॉ करतोय. We are going to encourage people go out and start working by taking due care. Now with that, again the money flow will be restored, maybe at a lesser pace, but in the long run the structure has to be restored because the banking is the backbone of the economy. And it will, whether it is backbone or not. Everything starts on a regular basis. It is going to happen. But as on today, the economy, entire businesses, entire world is affected. So the banking being a part of the economy, part of the world itself, cannot stay away from this. I hope you have understood. Now let's listen.
Hello, Krishnan sir.
Yeah. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Remember, you asked the right question, but let's look at what is practically happening. No, banking is one of the essential services, which the government of India also has declared. Banking, medical workers, newspaper and media channels, some of these were exempt categories while the lockdown was also on. No doubt, many bank employees did not come to the branches, but still the banking industry was kept as an essential service, and they were working in spite of lockdown. They were working. They were working with a very limited staff and with limited service. If you see, for example, even during lockdown time, bank branches were open. They were accepting cash. They were also accepting clearing checks. They were accepting money transfer and even tax payments. Only very few limited services were provided. And also, this COVID lockdown is going to be a temporary phenomenon. Already we have spent more than 9 months under lockdown, and the whole world is facing the same problem. As Rajesh rightly said that when the whole economic system is affected, naturally banking will also be affected. This doesn't mean there cannot be a restoration. Also, you see, Government of India has launched a lot of welfare packages for industry, and these industries which are in need of finance, the financial assistance is given through banking system, which means banks have to essentially function. And of course, with the due precautions as advised by the Ministry of Health of the state government as well as the central government, they work, and the banking system is still working with, of course, with skeletal staff or with a limited number of people, but it is slowly being restored. So and for working also we need people, isn't it? Even if the banks are open for services, at least a few staff members are needed, which is being done now. So in spite of COVID, which is going to go away maybe in a few months' time, or it may be going to come down, and in spite of all these things, still the lockdown is not going to affect a long term. I mean, it will not affect you on a long term basis. That is my view. And it is also, we are also witnessing that in front of our eyes as slowly the lockdown is lifted phase by phase. And things are now coming on a slow pace back to normalcy. I hope this will be restored a little while after. Okay, so I believe the earlier situation will return maybe after a little bit of time. Until then, we'll have to bear this. Okay, I hope
sir, thank you.
I have answered your query.
Yes, sir, definitely. Thank you.
Sir, there is a question by Terence.
Yes.
If a student has completed his or BO program, do he or she has to give recruitment exam like IBPS?
IBPS.
Actually, when you get a particular program, that will not make you entitled. Every bank will have that. Every organization will have some kind of selection process. Because when you select an employee, this is a part that you have got requisite qualification.
Yes.
But in addition to qualification, they would like to test you on different parameters. That is, who you are in communication. What are your liking, dislikes? What is your aptitude towards? Because if you consider a bank, there are lots of jobs involved. Na? There is a job of selling a product. There is job of
Sir, you are not audible.
Rajesh sir. Rajesh sir.
Rajesh sir.
Krishnan sir.
Hello, Krishnan sir.
Hello sir. Krishnan sir. Hello Krishnan sir.
ये तो म्यूट जाएगा कृष्ण सर का म्यूट जाएगा
हॅलो
हाँ सर
सी तो मला काय म्हणायचंय की जेव्हा तुम्ही एखादं क्वालिफिकेशन एक्वायर करता ते तुम्हाला डायरेक्टली एका जॉबला एंटायटल नाही करू शकत. After that qualification, every organization will see some other factors also. How good you are in communication, what is your liking. They will ask such kind of questions. So the recruitment जी प्रोसेस बँकेची असते त्या प्रोसेस मधनं तुम्हाला जायलाच लागणार. त्याच्यामुळे तसं डायरेक्ट तुम्हाला जॉब मिळू शकत नाही. आता तुम्हाला बँकेमध्ये वेगळ्या प्रकारचे जॉब्स असतात. काही सेलिंगचे जॉब असतात, काही रिकव्हरीचे असतील, काही ऍट अ हायर लेवल तुम्हाला प्रोसेसिंग ऑफ बॅलन्स शीट अनालिसिस वगैरे असेल तर त्याच्यात तुम्हाला ऍप्टिट्यूड आहे का. नॉलेज इज वन पार्ट, ऍप्टिट्यूड तुमचं इन्क्लिनेशन तिकडे आहे का. वेदर युअर पर्सनॅलिटी इज फिटिंग टू दॅट पर्टिक्युलर जॉब ऑर नॉट हे सुद्धा बँक बघतच ना. त्याच्यामुळे मी अमुक एक प्रोग्राम केलाय म्हणून मला अमुक एक जॉब मिळेलच असं बँकेत काय कुठल्याही इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये असं होऊ शकत नाही. तो माझ्या मते तुम्हाला बँकेच्या रिक्रुटमेंट प्रोसेस अवॉइड करू शकत नाही तुम्ही. तुम्हाला इथे करायला लागतं. हा आता ते रिटर्न टेस्ट घ्यायची का डायरेक्ट इंटरव्ह्यू घ्यायची का ग्रुप डिस्कशन घ्यायचं हे प्रत्येक बँक त्यांच्या जरुरीप्रमाणे ते ठरवणार. काही बँका रिक्रुटमेंट करताना रिटर्न टेस्ट घेत नाही. त्यांच्याकडे आलेले ऍप्लिकेशन असतात त्यांना ते पहिल्यांदा ग्रुप डिस्कशनला बोलवतात, त्याच्यातनं एलिमिनेशन झालं का मग पर्सनल इंटरव्ह्यू घेतात. असं सुद्धा करू शकतात. इट इज अप टू द बँक. पण काहीतरी सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस असणारच आहे. रिटर्न टेस्ट, इंटरव्ह्यू, ग्रुप डिस्कशन काहीतरी असणारच. डायरेक्ट जॉब असा बँक ऑफर करत नाही कुठलीच. आणि कुठलीच ऑर्गनायझेशन वाय बँक कुठलीच. अगदी बरोबर आहे. मी मगाशी म्हटल्याप्रमाणे की कसं असतं माहितीये की तुम्हाला आता एकाने कोणीतरी प्रश्न विचारला की अर्थशास्त्राची डिग्री घेऊन बँकेत मला घेता येतील का. आता कसं होतं बघा, आमच्या वेळी आम्ही जेव्हा बँकेत लागलो ना त्यावेळी मी सायन्स ग्रॅज्युएट होतो. पण त्यावेळी कसं होतं फक्त सायन्स, कॉमर्स आणि आर्ट्स हे तीनच स्ट्रीम्स अवेलेबल होते आणि बँकांमध्ये आम्हाला कोणालाही एंट्री मिळत होती. आता तुम्हीच मला सांगा, आपण समजा रिक्रुटमेंटच्या बोर्डवरती आहोत, आपण बँकेच्या रिक्रुटमेंट सिलेक्शन प्रोसेसमध्ये आहोत आणि आपल्याला समोर 2 मुलं आली आहेत. त्याच्यामध्ये एकाने फक्त बँकिंग बीकॉम विथ बँकिंग केलंय, एकाने बीहोक विथ बँकिंग केलेलं आहे बँकिंग फायनान्समध्ये. तर माझ्या दृष्टीने काय होणार की मी माझं इन्क्लिनेशन कुठे असणार की अरे ज्यांनी बीव्हॉक केलंय त्यांनी नुसतं बँकिंगची थिअरी नाही केली, त्याला त्याचं प्रॅक्टिक्स पण माहिती आहे. प्रॅक्टिकली वर्क कसं करायचं, तिथे बँकेमध्ये गेल्यानंतर चेक हातात आल्यावर चेक कसा हँडल करायचा हे ऑलरेडी शिकून आलेला जर मुलगा असेल तर मी बँकेचा कर्मचारी म्हणून जास्त इफेक्टिव्हली काम करू शकणार हे ऑब्व्हियस आहे ना. तो ह्या गोष्टीचा बेनिफिट मिळतोच. येस. कारण बँक शेवटी ट्रेनिंग देते त्यांच्या एम्प्लॉईजना, म्हणजे बँक ही इन्व्हेस्टमेंट करते ना. पण मला ही इन्व्हेस्टमेंट न करता जर रेडीमेड माणूस मिळाला, त्याला बँकेचे ट्रेनिंग द्यायची गरजच नाहीये, त्याला चेक कसा घ्यायचा काय करायचं सगळं माहिती आहे, तर माझा चॉईस त्याला असणारच ना.
नक्की.
त्याच्यामुळे मला काहीतरी प्रोसेस लागते आणि मी इंटरव्ह्यू घेणार. आणि जसं आता एक प्रश्न विचारला, BA अर्थशास्त्र केल्यानंतर माझ्याकडे बँकिंगच्या म्हणजे इकॉनॉमिक्सच्या बद्दल मला माहिती नक्कीच आहे. म्हणजे मला जॉब मिळू शकत नाही असं मला बिलकुल म्हणायचं नाही. पण माझ्याबरोबर 10 कॅन्डिडेट इतर जेव्हा असतील तेव्हा मी कुठे त्याच्यामध्ये राहू शकतो ह्याचा विचार आपण करायला पाहिजे ना. आणि मगाशी प्राचार्य सर म्हणाले की जर मी बीकॉम केलेला आहे पण त्याच्यानंतर मी 1 वर्षाचा जरी बीवोकचा डिप्लोमा घेतला तरी सुद्धा माझं क्वालिफिकेशन सडनली एका वेगळ्याच अँगल मधनं बघितलं जातं ना, की मी बीकॉम म्हणजे मला बँकिंगचं नॉलेज आहे, इकॉनॉमिक्सचं नॉलेज आहे, इन ऍडिशन टू दॅट डिप्लोमा लेवलचं मला बँकिंगचं प्रॅक्टिकल नॉलेज आहे. हा प्रॅक्टिकल शब्द खूप महत्वाचा आहे बघा, तो आपल्याला इथे बीवोक मध्ये मिळतोय.
एक प्रश्न विचारलाय.
Can I add something to? Hello.
Yes,
sir.
Krishnan sir.
Yeah.
Krishnan sir.
No, let me add one small note. What others are saying. No, BWOC is not a guarantee for employment. Let's first understand, because every organization have their own needs and methods of selection according to their policy. So even those who have done a BWOC graduates, they have, what we are saying is they have a better chance wherever the policy permits of that institution, say for directly recruiting on the basis of interview or on the basis of their own assessment, they will do that. So in short, it has to be, if basic entry has to be made into a bank, you will have to undergo that same process of selection. So irrespective whether a BWOC or a BSc graduate. So, but what is the advantage in BWOC is an employer who gets 10 applications from different candidates And if there are candidates with DO and if the employer has an idea, they will have definitely an idea about DO courses. So they would prefer these people. That is what is the reality. I hope I have answered that question.
Yeah, very much. They will have to go through IBPS also. Somebody said that motivation is also important with skill, knowledge, and attitude, and then thereafter question mark. So I have not understood it is a statement or it is a question. But what I would advise that if we could rearrange those words like then it becomes a principle. Ask principle, attitude, skill, and knowledge. And then in that case, those three words goes into order of merit. Like so, attitude is at the top. Skill is little less will do. Knowledge also little less will do. But attitude should be at the top. And if suppose someone who can manage optimally all the three, manage in the sense, balance all the three, then he or she will become Mahatma. It is a principle of management.
So let me add one thing. The attitude drives the knowledge and skills.
Yeah, exactly.
There are many examples of there. People who are considered not so qualified or not so eminent or efficient, through their sheer attitude have overcome all those handicaps and they become skilled and they become knowledgeable.
Absolutely.
So motivation is a part of your attitude. If you want to do something which comes from within, in fact, motivation also comes from within. So it's a part of your attitude and motivation lies in that. So,
correct.
Yeah, I think, Mrunal and Sapna, both of them, they are talking about motivation. So to them and for everybody, what I would have to say, as Mr. Krishnan sir has rightly said, the motivation comes from within. See, when you work in a particular environment, when I work in the bank, if I can give you my example, when I started working in the bank as a clerk, then as a clerk, you are all aware that whatever I used to do, somebody used to check that entry. It is a maker and checker system in the banks. You, at a junior level, you make the entry, somebody who is the senior who checks the entry and then the transaction gets through. Now, when I saw that something is done by me with very sincerity, with best of my knowledge, yet somebody is checking that. Now, I want to be somebody who will be checking somebody's job instead of just merely making a data entry. So that means that person who was checking my entries motivated me to come to some other level. So this is how the motivation comes from within. So I hope Sapna and Mrunal, you are accepting my our explanation on motivation. It will come from within. Don't worry. When you start working, you see lot many people who are there, have achieved certain positions in the organization. You will feel like achieving that position, and that is what is the motivation. But motivation merely I am motivated will not help. You will have to equip yourself with, as sir said, ask principle, attitude, knowledge, and your skills. So they are all interlinking.
So self-motivation is important for than external motivation like reward and all these things.
Yes, actually at this age, you should not use the word motivation. You should use the word self-motivation. The word self has to come with the motivation. Don't wait anybody else to motivate you. Gone are the days, and today the world has no time to, motivate somebody, and you should not waste time in getting motivated by others. It is a huge waste of time. Get motivated yourself. Does Sapna agree? Sapna agree or not?
Yes, agree, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I will add one thing.
There may be a chance
Motivation comes from motto. Motto means automatic. So it comes from within. So it's something automatically that comes from you. That is self. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
There may be a chance.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Others may get motivated. Okay, then is it okay?
One more last question is there. Sir, how BOK is different from MBA or PGDM? Parents is asking.
How?
How BOK is different from MBA and PGDM?
Yeah. This is a MBA and PGDM is a post-graduation course, but nevertheless, the basic difference is what they are. Post-graduation is one thing, but they are not skill-oriented program.
Correct.
In MBA, it is a master degree. Post-graduation, PGDM is also post-graduation diploma degree, whatever you say. But the important thing is that they are not skill-oriented, so your theory part, your conceptual part may increase to a master level. But today the organizations, they are interested in what? They are interested in skills part of it, because you have to actually work at the counter. You are not just going to write the papers on banking and making use of the theory which you have learned. The organization is more interested in actually delivering what you know, and that delivery part comes through the skill, and the skills are enhanced in this BWOC program. So if you talk about comparison, yes, it is a bachelor's and master's so far as the academic knowledge is concerned. But when it comes to skills, the skills of a person who has completed BWOC will be much more than who is.
Between the BWOC and the MBA PGDM is practical versus theory oriented. In fact, the component of practice and practicality is more in the case of the BWOC compared to the MBA or PGDM. No doubt, MBA or PGDM also candidates get exposure at the end of a summer internship or at the end of their academic year. They go for briefly a month or two. But there also, you understand, they put in the operational side of the things. Whereas in BWOC, there is every year, at the end of every year you have, at the end of every semester rather, I would rather say, there will be an practical attachment to the organization, and you will undergo the life experiences. Okay, so these two are therefore not easily comparable. So here you will get more of skill orientation in the case of BWOC, and the very purpose of starting BWOC is for providing large scale employment to the people of India who are eligible. So whereas master's degree are little more specializations, and that won't be therefore be appropriate to compare with the BWOC. So I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for these elaborative sessions and clearing the doubts of the participants. I would like to invite Professor Sunil Sonavne to express our heartfelt feelings of gratitude towards the participants as well as the resource persons. Yeah, Professor Sonavne, please.
Sir. On behalf of ASP Autonomous College, Devruk, I give my sincere thanks to Rajesh sir and Krishnan sir for such a wonderful session. Definitely our students will get benefit from your shared information and experience. Thanks to our college principal, Dr. Tendulkar sir, for putting the idea of organizing such webinar and his presence as well as his guidance also. Thanks to our organizing committee of this webinar, Dr. M.H. Magdum, Mr. M. Kulkarni, Mr. Mandar Jaffi sir, Mr. Sunil Sonavne, and thanks to our dear participants for their patience listening and active participation in a session. With the permission of our principal, Dr. Tendulkar sir, I am winding up this session. Thank you very much, sir, and dear participants.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh sir. Thank you, Krishnan sir. Once again.
Thank you, Rajesh sir. Thank you, Krishnan sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rajesh sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shall we end? Thank you.